we look so profesh for this video. The truth is, your girl loves a blazer. I really like my outfit today. My husband said it was very 90s. I disagree. Well, do I disagree or do I just think that that's okay? I don't know. We haven't filmed with this backdrop in quite some time, but I thought it's a new year for me. Let's try it. My little Veuve Clicquot glasses in the background. Why does Pillow Talk look so red on camera? Interesting. Okay, you have to tell me if I have lipstick on my teeth, okay? Remember the debacle this winter? Welcome to episode 3 of Bariatric Questions and Answers with your host, me, Chelsea. I wish I had more like zhuzh, you know? Okay. It is also my birthday week. I will be turning 38 this week. So more than officially into the late or upper 30s. We are processing that information together. To celebrate, I thought that I could answer your questions. I have done 2 other videos just like this one that have performed really well because you are driving the content. It is for you. So I posted, what would you like to ask me on Instagram and on YouTube. So all of today's questions are coming right from you. Thank you. If you would like to see if your question or a question that maybe you have but didn't ask gets answered, stay tuned. Got my hair cut this morning, you know, trying to get vacation ready, but also love it when we have a new like birthday moment. My hair is getting long for me. It hasn't been healthy enough to grow this long in such a long time. We're gonna talk about hair later though. It's one of the questions. If you are looking for more, even more bariatric surgery information, a support group, a lovely community of like-minded thinkers who love all things Disney, magic, summer, and of course, information about bariatric surgery, you should subscribe here. And it's my birthday week, so consider that your gift to me. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Chelsea, almost 38. I'm an Aries, hence all of this energy. It's also the reason I still love my birthday and I am in my upper 30s. I had a gastric sleeve almost 4 years ago now. My surgery date is July of 2019. I have managed to maintain an 80 to almost 100 pound weight loss throughout these 4 years. And I have started a coaching business for all pre and post-op women who are looking for support along this journey. Let's get to those questions. I am also going to be putting the questions here so that you can see them as they come in, and I have them here on my phone as well. Question number 1. If I overeat a meal in my early stages, will I stretch my pouch and mess everything up? Well, friend, there is both good and bad news here. The good news is that in the early stages of post-op life, it is almost 100% impossible for you to overeat. You're eating slowly, you are on mainly liquids or mush, and your new tummy gets full super fast. The bad news is that the consequence of overeating, of taking that extra bite or even taking that extra sip, means that you are likely to vomit very quickly. Again, there's a little bit of good news here in terms of your nausea doesn't really exist. You will feel a tightness here in your esophagus, you might feel some pain in your stomach, but within 20 minutes, you are likely to expel that extra overeaten bite, and then you'll go back to feeling normal. Now, here's the warning. If you are to overeat and throw up on occasion, that's okay. It's actually fairly normal and part of the process. If you overeat consistently, you will stretch your pouch out slowly, but over time. So just be careful. If that's something you're worried about, make sure you are taking super teeny tiny bites when you start to eat soft and regular food again. Put your fork down in between, let it sit for 3 minutes before you pick your fork up again, and then just make sure you are chewing everything at least 50 times. That sounds outrageous, I know, but there's two goals of that. One is so that you are chewing enough and allowing your body an easier digestion system that will help everything settle. But two, you are allowed to feel those full cues. I get the hiccups when I'm full, so that's my body's way of telling me. And you will come to know over time, what does it feel like? How do I listen to my body when my body says I'm all done? It's okay, take it easy, go slowly. Question number 2, I would like to know if you did and still do measure or weigh out your portions. I know this one can be so triggering based on diet culture. After being almost 4 years post-op, I do not regularly weigh or measure out my portions. I am pretty confident in the amount that I can eat at different points during the day. So I am not an equal opportunity eater. I tend to eat the least at breakfast, the middle at dinner, and the most at lunch. I also know, as I just mentioned, my full cues and what my hunger cues really are, the differentiation between real hunger versus head hunger. So I think I have a handle on that. However, after I feel I have overindulged for multiple days, say like on a vacation, I will measure out my meals for 5-ish days just to make sure that I'm getting back on track. I still do count every day and track my protein and my water intake. Lately, I have been working toward, not hitting, but working toward 100 grams of protein a day and at least 80 to 90 ounces of water. The third question is very much in line. What are your current calories? Like I said, I definitely do not count my calories every single day, but on those weeks where I am getting back on track, returning from vacation, or even had a splurge time because I really don't limit myself, I tend to be around 1,200 calories a day. And if you've watched any of my What I Eat in Nashville, Disney, on vacation, those days are not the ones I'm talking about when I'm mentioning 1,200 calories. I am certainly going over on those days. I'll leave the most recent one from Nashville right here for you. And there will be one coming up after vacation when we come home from St. Thomas, so make sure you're subscribed in order to see that. Ooh, this is a big one. What did your program say about caffeine? Absolute no-no? And did your taste change after you had surgery? So the clinic and program that I went to said an absolute no-no to caffeine post-op. Fun fact, I have never had coffee, but when I tell you that I loved, I should put in past tense, but I know I still do love it, Diet Coke, I mean that it was on my gratitude list fairly regularly. I was 100% addicted to this sweet nectar from the gods that fizzes, a fountain Diet Coke from McDonald's with light ice. Gives me goosebumps. That sound, oh man. Ooh, that is something I struggle with pretty much still every day. Listen, post-op, I wasn't interested in reintegrating caffeine. Pre-op, I was fully addicted to the caffeine in Diet Coke. And I found that when I drank it, I used to make food choices that were not the best for me. Like I would crave things that I think were probably not beneficial to the health of my body. Can I say that I have never had Diet Coke post-op? No, no. I did wait 2 years, and then I had a small fountain Diet Coke from McDonald's when we went to Disneyland in order to combat the jet lag because we had plans in the evening and I didn't think I was gonna make it through. Now, I can have, without needing it every single day, I can have small fountain Diet Cokes, but I will tell you that the bubbles do hurt. Like it's usually not worth it. I don't necessarily have the same food cravings because I think I broke that after not having Diet Coke for 2 years, but I still will not, I'm not willing to reintroduce it. I get a question a lot that's like, why not just reintroduce caffeine-free Diet Coke? And it's because, one, because of the aspartame. I've already kicked that from my system most of the time. But two, I know I have an addictive personality, so I would need to have it every single day. So I do save it for myself as like a special treat when I feel like I could use a little pick-me-up in the afternoon, but it's like several times a year, not frequently. It's really nice to be off caffeine and know that my body doesn't need it. When I do have caffeine in the form of Diet Coke, that's the only type of caffeine I think I have, it hits harder. It's almost frantic and a little bit uncomfortable, so I can barely finish a small. Times have changed. Speaking of change, my tastes have definitely changed. That's not to say that I'm the girl who craves kale, because I'm not, and I fear I will never be her. But I look forward to protein. I notice, my body notices if I haven't had enough protein, let's say the day before, I will wake up and be a carnivore. I want meat. That sentence used to disgust me. The idea of eating protein for breakfast, like I wake up now and drink bone broth with my greens in it after coconut oil pulling my mouth. I could not have done those things pre-op. I think I would have gagged at the idea of them, never mind the execution. I don't love sweets the same way that I used to. This does exclude cookies. Cookies and we still have a deep love affair. But things that I used to like, that I now appreciate the aesthetics of, but I don't want to eat them, things like donuts, ice cream, I just don't want them. My body no longer demands that I feed it fast food. That's nice. So if we are eating fast food, I can make a choice rather than feel like I need to eat it all at once. That was very much a disordered thinking pre-op. I feel a difference in my body when I'm hydrated versus dehydrated. I don't think I ever noticed that before, but now I can tell. We're about to have a visitor. Yeah? Hi, beautiful. You love my hair?
Yeah.
That's so nice. I like your outfit. You like it? Can you help Daddy put the groceries away?
I'm so cute.
You are so cute. You don't squish your fingers out. Oh boy. I hope that answers your question. The next question is, how long did the pain last on the right side of your body from the stitches and where they lift the liver? I'm almost 3 weeks post-op RNY, gastric bypass. It's not hurting, but it's tight still. Firstly, girl, congratulations. Now listen, you have had a real surgery, so you have to give your body time to heal, and you have to give yourself some grace for feeling the pain. My biggest scar, also on the right side where your tummy is, kind of tucked up near my ribs, that's where they put the camera, I think. And that one hurt or was sore for about 6 to 8 weeks. Now I did have the sleeve, so my surgery scar is maybe a little bit smaller than yours, depending on what kind of bypass you had with robotics, surgeon, etc. But I could walk, climb stairs, bend my knees, like I could move normally. But it would like twinge from time to time, if that description makes sense. And it was most sore when I would go to sleep. I like to sleep on that side, and that would be touchy. Tight is a really good way to describe it. So you have a little bit of time ahead of you before it just feels like a raised scar and normal, but what you're feeling is totally normal along this journey. Just give yourself some grace. And it should be getting less sensitive week to week. I'm scheduled for gastric sleeve next month. I've heard lots of people say who get them that they need revisions a few years down the line. I only want to do this once. My BMI is relatively low and would like to lose and keep off about 80 pounds. My surgeon recommended the sleeve, but ultimately said it was my choice. What's a girl to do? Let's talk about revisions. These are a real thing, and there's no shame or embarrassment in needing a revision down the line after weight loss surgery. That being said, I hear you. The recovery post-op process for this surgery, whether it's a sleeve or a bypass, isn't easy, so I know that you don't want to do it twice. It is absolutely possible for you to maintain an 80-pound or even more for some patients weight loss without a revision post-op. There are obviously things I don't know about your situation. I know that your BMI is relatively low. I don't know if you have medical complications that would make keeping weight off more challenging. Have you ever used the MBSC app? I did a short on this. I will link it here. It's super helpful. It's a free app, a free tool that can help predict the amount of weight you'll lose with either both surgeries. That may help you decide. Typically, the sleeve has been historically a bit easier to recover from. However, gastric bypass patients typically lose 10% more and keep that 10% more off longer than gastric sleeve patients do. Personally, I always start by recommending the sleeve because if you ever did need a revision, you could revise to a bypass. But if you have the bypass, a revision can be more complicated. I know that's the exact thing you're trying to avoid. So check out the app. Let me know if that helps. But I always start with the sleeve. It sounds like your surgeon is on the same page. This one was a little more challenging. Is it a lot easier now versus before surgery when it comes to thinking about food and what to eat? What have you done to shift your mindset when it comes to food and eating, what you should versus what you'd rather eat? Do you still crave bad food? When you eat what you should, is your craving satisfied with your healthy choice versus eating poorly? I am sorry to tell you that the answer to this question is no, but it's complicated. Mindset is the key to maintaining weight loss post-op. Your body is going to naturally lose weight during this first magical year, and then it's going to be up to you. But how you handle things like food choices, weight loss stalls, etc., it's all in here. This is why I started Bariatric coaching, because I did not have a weight loss mindset coach. I had a therapist prior to surgery, and while I could work through my inner child issues, I was having a hard time coping with not having coping mechanisms post-op. So Bariatric coaching was born after I had done all the work myself to figure out how to support other women in the world going through the same thing I was going through. One of the biggest mindset shifts is now I focus on the bites I get to take rather than those that I might be missing out on. There's this misconception that your hunger or cravings go away post-op. That sounds magical, but it's not true. It may be true for the first several weeks because there is some ghrelin removed with the mass of your stomach, but that hormone still exists in your body. So the question is, how do you fight that hunger? Or do you honor it? And I choose to honor mine. I like to think that my body is more symbiotic now, where my brain and my body work together rather than against each other. And I eat what I crave. Though you cannot do this in the first several phases post-op, that's where your coping mechanisms are going to come into play. My craving is satisfied when I do honor my hunger and I eat what I want, but I only do so in small quantities. Lately, that's been lemon macarons. They're fresh, crunchy, sweet, and they're like perfectly portioned. They're little. They make me very happy. I no longer label foods good versus bad, and I would encourage you to adopt that mindset too. Food is fuel. Food can be joy, food can be comforting, but what it should be is a way to move your body rather than to quell an emotion. I now use labels like, oh, this is a protein, this is a carb, this is a treat. I try to label it like neutrally for what it is. When I do eat carbs, I pair them with a protein, so that way I am eating less carbs and working toward my 100-gram goal. I do not live a carb-free lifestyle because I don't believe in excluding any part, any food from my life. I'm all about a balanced approach and eating as intuitively as I can. Let's talk about hair. How bad was hair thinning? Did you lose a lot? When does it start growing back? Isn't it so fun that as our bodies lose weight, we go bald? We talk about this in coaching quite a bit too. There are some preventative things that you can do. We'll get to those. But the thinning is very real. It starts at about 3 months and you are going to feel like you're losing a whole head of hair because your hair has not fallen out properly in the past 3 months. So it's likely that you are, and you just have to be willing to let it shed, let it go. Thinning can range. Did you do preventative measures like taking a hair, skin, and nails, or a thiamine, a collagen, a biotin supplement pre-surgery? It also depends on your age, of course. Regardless, when the thinning starts, it's scary for everyone. I lost a ton. I lost a ton for a variety of reasons. 1, I was not doing anything preventative. 2, I was coloring my hair super light, therefore I was like bleaching it, which you can see how dark my hair is naturally. I was trying to get it blonde. I was adding heat, 450-degree heat to it with a flat iron every single day of the week. I was basically doing everything in my power to kill my hair and be bald. I did remedy this by bringing my hair back to its natural color. And then for a whole year, I did the curly girl journey. I did not add heat to my hair for a year. I only wash my hair once to twice a week now, and I use my Dyson Airwrap instead of a hair straightener most days to try to achieve something like this because it is hot air, not heat. And when I learned what I was doing to my hair, I started a supplement, which I will leave in the description box below. If you are interested, it doesn't make me nauseous. I still take it now. And I've just ordered a deep conditioning mask from Vegamore, which is supposed to help prevent loss. So I will keep you posted on how that works. I'll leave that in the description box too. I bought my sister a serum because she is going through weight loss surgery recovery as well to try to help with her hair thinning, because her hair is naturally fine and very curly, so we're hoping this product works. This one's funny. I've watched another YouTube gal who has had VSG. She says her stomach is always making gurgling noises and she had trouble with burping. Has this happened to you? I know that everyone experiences different things, but I do find this a bit concerning. Thank you for your content. It's so greatly appreciated. You are so welcome. Thank you for submitting your question. Full disclosure, my stomach is loud. She is so loud now, constantly gurgling, tumbling around. I don't feel anything, but I can hear it. It doesn't hurt. I have never had an issue with gas, but remember, friend, we do not trust farts, okay? Life advice for you. You'll thank me later. I've just come to terms with the fact that my tummy is noisy. My students hear it in class and are used to it. My daughter will think that I'm hungry all the time. It's just digesting. She's always on the move. It is not a reason not to have surgery. The gas one might be uncomfortable. I've never experienced that. And the final question for today's bariatric Q&A, how soon did you start exercising and what kind? I love this proactive question. I can kind of tell by this question that this person wants to be successful and will be successful post-op. I also just posted a video about my favorite post-bariatric surgery workouts with the cutest workout haul. I will link that here. So in terms of movement, I started walking the day of surgery. Was literally up and about, my bum flapping around in my Johnny with my little pole of Ivy, strutting it up in the hallways. When I came home, I started doing laps around my house, and then by the end of the week, it was around the perimeter of the property. By 2 weeks, it was in the neighborhood, but it was slow, steady walking as much as I could get in between eating. And that's how it was for the first 3 months, just walking. Once I became more like stable, I would add ankle and wrist weights to try to up my resistance a bit. And then the goal was to increase the amount of steps and meters every single week. It is important that you know that you can't do anything ab related for the first 12 weeks. And your clinic may extend that date, but obviously we don't want to upset the area that we've just had semi-major surgery on. So we're leaving the abs out for a while. After 12 weeks, I was cleared to do arms and legs, so I started doing some strength training and adding in my resistance bands. I also used my body weight, and I still do, for certain things like planks and push-ups. I recently started doing a program called Alive from Whitney Simmons, who you might know from TikTok. I am doing the beginner at home. I think I could do the intermediate, so I've just started increasing the size of my dumbbells. Does anybody know where I can get cute dumbbells? I have a kettlebell and then I have a set of dumbbells, but they're not very cute. I would like aesthetic ones. let a girl know. 6 months post-op is when I started incorporating running, and I was doing so very slowly just so I could start working up to a mile. And since then, it's been do what you want as tolerated. Thank you so much for submitting these questions. This has been such a joy to film. I can't believe it's our third one already. If you would like to see a Q&A number 4, please like this video. And if you'd like some questions answered, you can put them in the comment section because I'll save them, accumulate them for the next video. I deeply appreciate you being here for my birthday week. I hope you'll follow along on social media for the content I'm putting out. I think it's gonna be pretty fun, and I love you as always. I hope you're having a magical season. If you are an Aries, let me know. It's our time to shine. And I love you. I'll see you next week when I am officially 38. Bye, friends.